Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this recap of our Equity Insights session on tapping into your authentic self on campus. It's great to have you here. I hope you'll take a few minutes, grab a warm cup of something to drink, and tap in to this session. I'll introduce myself. My name is Bobby Joe, and with over 14 years as a business owner, strategist, and coach, I'm devoted to helping people unlock their passions and reach their potential. By day, you can find me running workshops and seminars like these, leading design projects. I also am a certified coach. I run a tech startup, which is a micro coaching app for women in business. So I'm super dedicated to helping people find and reach their potential, or a heady combination of all of that. And by night, you'll find me running, crocheting, or hanging out with the world's best dog. Her name is Wookie. I can absolutely provide photos available on request, but I don't know anything about Star Wars, so don't ask me anything about Star Wars. So let's get into it. Why does authenticity matter? I love this quote from The War of Art. It states simply, our job in this lifetime is not to shape ourselves into some ideal we imagine we ought to be, but to find out who we are and to become it. Authenticity at the end of the day simply breeds confidence. If you don't have to remember an artifice of who you told people you are, but you simply are yourself, it frees up so much of your energy to be confident, to be fully present in the moment because you are who you say you're doing what you said you do. Being authentic allows you to breathe and make space for becoming. So when you tap into yourself and fully allow yourself to be authentic and vulnerable in specific moments, you can really just let out an exhale, right? There's no pretending. You can decide what's next and you can evolve much more freely than if you're constricted by being something and someone for other people. At the end of the day, you'll also find your tribe a lot faster and more joyfully by being yourself. I don't know if you've ever been in a room with people and someone's maybe wearing a pair of sneakers that you really like, or someone references one of your favorite movies and you just connect. You lock eyes and connect, and you have this shared experience or affinity. It's amazing that when you are yourself and you talk about the things that you love and you open up to people, how much faster the people who also love the same things or who can complement your life in really beautiful ways will find you. And at the end of the day, authenticity also makes you much more trustworthy. If people know what they are getting when they encounter you, if you consistently show up as the self that you want to be in the world, people will trust you. People will trust that what you say you will do, you'll do. How you say your values impact how you behave and everything. People will be able to count on that, which is just so important, especially as you're moving around on campus with your professors, with your classmates, and ultimately as you graduate and enter the workforce. So, a lot of what helps us be authentic is actually setting and honoring goals. So, we know what we are becoming, what we are working towards, and how that fits into our life and how we want to be. So, having a clear vision of what you want to accomplish on campus makes it much easier for you to stay true to what you want to do and who you want to be. Ask yourself, are your goals clear? Are they accessible, right? Will you be able to track how you're doing on your way to that goal? Are they exciting? Do you have a time frame within which you want to get them done? It's super important to not just say, in 10 years, I want to do X, Y, and Z, right? What do you want to do by the end of the semester? What do you want to accomplish at the end of the semester? How do you want to feel at the end of the semester? And what values are at play when you think about what you want to feel when you look back on your time here? So one of the exercises that we did in the session was really to say, you know, what's a goal that you have, and then drill down. What happens when you get that goal? What becomes easier when you get that goal? What changes for you once you achieve that goal? And what we found was that the goal isn't necessarily the getting an A on a test or handing in your final exam. It's a feeling of peace of a job well done. It's a feeling of peace of staying true to yourself, and contentment of staying true to yourself, that you really did the best that you could, and you feel great about it. So what makes you really excited about getting an A on a test? What makes you really enthusiastic applying yourself to study. It's usually not the time you spend studying, right? It's the feeling that you get after. So sit with yourself and really write out some goals and keep asking yourself, what happens if I get that? What changes for me if I get that? Is it clear? Can you taste it? Can you feel it? What would make you just thrilled at the end of the semester, at the end of the year, at the end of 2 years if you accomplish? So allow yourself the space to really think about what is it you truly want? What is it that you authentically want to do and be, and set those targets for yourself. It's really important when we talk about authenticity to also consider your well being. So ask yourself again, how am I honoring my boundaries? And what are my boundaries? At this stage in your academic career, you might not have allowed yourself to really answer that question because you're getting pulled in so many different ways and you're being asked to do so many different things and there's so many experiences. But really have a think about what are the things that matter to you and that you want to make sure that you protect within you, because if you can protect yourself, and that's not to say at the exclusion of other people, right? Because you live in a society and you live around people and you have to work with other people's boundaries as well, but it's easier to do that when you know your own. So if you know that you're not going to, tolerate last minute requests from a classmate to work on something because you really, it's important to you to know what you're doing when you're doing it, and last minute things just kind of freak you out. That's a great boundary to have. So think about, how are you honoring your boundaries, and if you haven't before, think about how to set those boundaries. Also ask yourself, how am I nurturing myself apart from the academic sphere? Do you have hobbies? Do you have things that you like to do that allow you to rest? Rest is not just sleeping. Rest can be creative play. Rest can be hanging out with friends. Rest can be, hanging out with yourself, going for a long walk. So school is not the end all and be all. I hope I don't get in trouble for saying that. You also do have to nurture the parts of yourself that are not tied to academic outcomes. Ask yourself what the signs are that you're struggling so that you know when to ask for help. What do you do when you find out that you are struggling? And how do you recognize that in yourself? We want to always catch burnout before it happens because it's very difficult to recover from. And you guys are in a really lucky position with the equity program where there is so much signposting. There are so many ways to ask for and receive help, not just from people on campus that are fully trained to do it, but also from your friends and also from the people that you'll meet on the program and in your courses and in your extracurriculars. So when we talk about being authentic to ourselves, there is no authentic self if we are not well. And doing the things that are required of you beyond academically to take care of yourself are going to be so important for your journey on campus. Let's think about ambition. We talked about who we want to be, right? And I want to drill into you that ambition is not a dirty word. Knowing what you want to achieve and being confident in your ability to do so is an asset. It is not a liability. Being able to say fully, I want to be this, I'm going to achieve this, the more and more you say it, you speak that into existence. Okay. So if you know that it's a dream of yours to achieve something, I want you to be really ambitious about it. I want you to be really audacious about it, because going for those things to the exclusion of naysayers or people telling you that you can't or asking you why you want to do that is one of the best ways to stay authentic to yourself. Um, be loud and proud. Take it from an American. Be loud and proud about what you want to achieve and that ambition within you. Really, really nurture that. And allow people to be wrong about you and stick to your northern stars. If you think about, if you get lost in the woods, you can always look up, find the North Star, and you know you're going in that direction, right? So what are your goals? What is the ambition that you want to achieve that you can look up in the sky when you're feeling a little bit lost, when the homework is piling up, when you have everything due and exams are around the corner, and you can look up and say, okay, this is going to be worth it, right? I've set this goal, I've set this target within myself. This means a lot to me. My values, everything is wrapped up in this. I can look up to that North Star of my ambition and keep walking in the right direction, even when times get tough, even when I feel a little bit lost. And also aim to be kind, right? In your ambition, you can absolutely be reaching for the stars, but that doesn't mean trample over people along the way. But it also doesn't mean sacrifice yourself in the interest of being liked, right? When I say aim to be kind, don't worry about being nice. It's don't worry about being a people pleaser. Don't worry about everyone liking you on the path to where you're going because you don't like everyone, do you? But always aim to be kind, aim to honor yourself in a way that doesn't harm others, right? But don't light yourself on fire to keep other people warm. You again exist with your classmates, your professors, the people that might be your teammates, your friends, and you always want to make sure that as you move through your university experience, that you are honoring yourself by making sure that you are prioritizing yourself. So there's a fine line in the difference between kindness and niceness. And I always err on the side of be kind. You don't have to worry too much about being nice. Now, how do you map success? So having a goal is great, but how do you know when you've gotten there? We talked about accessibility of those goals. So some great questions to ask yourself, and I hope you take 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes, 2 hours to do this, is think about what does success look like and what does it feel like? How can you potentially find success and failure? I hate to break it to you, but not everything you do on campus is going to be a success, but that doesn't mean that the game is over. Oftentimes it means that the game has just begun. So how can you find success and failure? And what happens after you succeed? What next, right? You climb to the top of the mountain. Are you going to climb another one? What are you going to do? A really great exercise for this is to think about in 10 years, you've made front page news. So exciting. Congratulations. So think about what's the headline, right? What did you do and how? Did you invent something? Did you bring about change in a massive way? Dream big, dream bigger than you think is reasonable. Okay, this is a really great exercise for visualization, and the reason that we do this is because, especially when you are in an academic environment and just starting out, you can lose track sometimes about why you're there. What are you doing? So to write the headline, write your story into existence, and then in vivid detail write down what you did and how you did it. Now, we touched on this briefly, but when and how to ask for help. While your time on campus won't always fulfill you and or sustain you, it really, really should not completely drain you. Knowing what your non-negotiables are, what green flags to look for in situations, and when it's time to move on can help you zero in on early signs of burnout, help you identify pathways to help, and can really help you build resilience. And that does not mean build resilience at all costs, right? You do not need to weather storms by yourself. You'd be so surprised how many people are going through the same things as you are. And the reason that this is important in terms of being authentic is it allows you to be a multidimensional person who is not perfect. None of us are. So allow that other side of you to shine through and to honor that when you realize, okay, things are really tough right now. Who can I ask? Who can I talk to? Who can support me? There's so many people on campus that want to make sure that you thrive, especially with the wonderful resources that you'll have access to via mentorship and coaching and the equity program. So I know asking for help can be scary, but it's so crucial to success. I don't know any successful people that haven't had a lot of help along the way. So as you authentically gather your tribe and meet the people who are going to be in your life for hopefully decades. Remember that the people who thrive the most, the people who have really happy, healthy lives, they had a team. They knew when to ask for help and they took advantage of the opportunities at their disposal to really get that assistance when and how they needed it. So let's put it all together. What are you doing today to enable your vision of tomorrow? Who are you helping? And who are you helping? Who's helping you, right? How are you serving your own purpose? At the end of the day, you get to write your own story, and I hope you make it a good one, even when times get tough. I want you to try your best not to let the tail wag the dog. Don't let the let's mix metaphors here. Don't let the winds and the seas slosh you around to the point where you don't even know where you are or what you're doing. Remembering who you are, deciding who you are, and becoming that really, really shores you up against the things that are going to come your way. And I hope you wear all these weird little pineapples and sunglasses. Embrace your uniqueness, and not only in yourself, but in others. Proving that it's safe to be yourself will inspire others to do the same thing. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to move through life really anchored in who you are. And I hope that you guys really take the time, not just today, but in the coming months and years, to identify that, assess that, reevaluate that, and allow yourself to grow and thrive in ways that you can be really proud of. I'm really, really honored that you spent this time with me today to think about tapping into your authentic self on campus. I hope that the topics that we've discussed will be helpful for you. I hope you'll revisit the exercises and really take some time to have fun and be you on campus. The university experience is really special and unique. The equity program is one of the most brilliant things I've seen students have access to, and I hope you'll take advantage of it to its full potential. And lastly, I'm wishing you the best of luck and I'm rooting for you. I hope you have the best time during your time on campus, and I hope that you're able to do that authentically. Thank you so much.